everyone, I'm Pahua Yang Hoffman.
And I'm Nadesh Souvenir.
And we are the co-hosts of this new podcast called I So Appreciate You. To start off, before we launch into our first ever episode, we want to take a moment to welcome everyone who is listening and tell you a little bit about this podcast.
Maybe we should start with who we are.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good idea.
Well, first off, we're colleagues at the St. Paul in Minnesota Foundation, a community foundation that serves Minnesota. So the idea for the podcast wasn't actually ours. Other colleagues noticed the way that we work with each other and connect outside of work, and that sparked an idea for a podcast.
Does that make you feel good?
It does, actually. Does. But here's the thing. We still thought really long and hard about what we wanted to cover and if we even wanted to do a podcast, because there are hundreds, thousands, millions of podcasts by people and organizations. And we wanted to make sure we were bringing something different to the space.
Right.
And so, while we talk about, work and life sort of all day long, we wanted to figure out how to do it a little different. And so maybe get to the root of the why and the how we do our work. And, what's happening in our lives and in our community that kind of informs how we show up.
And that just felt more like us.
It really did.
I think I can safely say that one reason you and I are drawn to the work at the foundation, in addition to partnering with and supporting communities, we talk a lot about our values, you and I, and how we're going to live up to our values, especially around equity. For example, how are two women navigating life and work?
Absolutely. But equity, I'm kind of stuck on that because it almost doesn't mean anything anymore because it's getting thrown around so much.
It is.
And so I think what we really wanted to do is, rather than say equity and keep parroting all of those phrases, is really get into it and really have conversations about
real conversations,
like super deep conversations about how sometimes, we totally get it. And actually, sometimes we don't get it at all, whatever it happens to be.
And these are the conversations that I think you and I are already having at Happy Hour and in brunches when we get together, where we raise difficult issues, look at how to live our values at work and at home, and, trying to cover complicated topics that, by the way, we may not always have the answers to.
Okay, but I don't want people to think that we're sitting there at brunch having deep talks
about work
every single time.
No.
That's not true at all. We run the gamut.
We can't, right? We can't always talk about the heavy stuff, and I think we all need a break, especially coming out of last year and still this year. We need some levity. So I love that you and I can still talk about, in addition to work, food.
Yep.
Love that topic. Fashion, shoes, music, and ridiculous things we hear and read, and what it's like to be us in our families and among our friends.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk a lot and about a lot of different things because the reality is it all meshes together. There isn't a work side and a personal side and a where'd you get those cute shoes side. It's the Pahua or the Nadesh side, and it all flows in one.
And those are the best conversations, though, the ones that, we're already having, where we get lost in our own conversations and laughter, and people might look over to us in the corner and go, what are they talking about, and want to pull up a seat.
Or tell us to be quiet.
So while we have topics lined up, from exploring professionalism to navigating health crisis, this podcast is really where the conversation will lead us, and being open to that.
Maybe we should say something about the name.
The name of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you actually came up with that, so you should probably tell them.
Well, it kind of jumped out at me when I was thinking about all of the conversations we had. And even though they can be all over the map, literally we talk about anything and everything,
yes,
there is the craziest consistent theme, which I'd never observed before in conversations with a colleague/friend, is that we're always being really open about sharing our appreciation for each other.
Oh, God, that's super sappy.
It's really corny, actually.
But it's true. So for those who know Nadesh or are about to get to know her through this podcast, I really do so appreciate so many things about you, Nadesh. As a leader and as a friend, your calm and insightful presence, your ability to tap your law background, which you've been tapping into a lot lately at work, and apply it where necessary. And you're also so good at synthesizing problems and boiling it down so that we can get quickly to the, get to the quick get to the solution quicker. I love your fantastic earrings too. So we always talk about those and the glasses that match your outfit on a daily basis. Basically, your entire aesthetic. And you're also a beautiful writer. I'm going to stop there before your head gets big.
Well, you're making me blush over here. My goodness. Well, here's the thing. I get to make you blush right now.
I'm ready for it.
If you don't know Pahua, and honestly, I don't know who doesn't, because you are just everywhere doing all the things. You know, there are so many things to appreciate about you. You have this way when people are with you of really making everybody feel valued and heard. And you have this gift for convening many perspectives and voices. Probably good that you lead our community impact work. And, you know, finding a path forward. And you're super kind, really approachable, and also funny sometimes.
Oh, thank you.
And, you know, I'm going to, give you back those comments about aesthetic, because seriously, both your fashion and your like space and architectural aesthetic, I covet a little bit.
Same about you. Okay, I love this Love Fest. I love it. Thank you for those kind words. But let's move on before our listeners get tired of us.
Yeah, we probably better. So I think I can speak for both of us when I say thank you all. Thank you for listening. We are just super excited to embark on this journey with you, our listeners.